From the Roundhouse to your house now, where lawmakers are coming down to the wire this session.
They have only 1 week to get public safety proposals across the finish line.
Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham outlined nearly 24 initiatives she wanted to get done this session. Griffin Rushton joins us from the state capitol with a look at where all of those bills stand at this point. Griffin.
Yeah, I mean, the governor made it clear that she wanted public safety to be a top priority. And while none of her proposals have crossed the finish line just yet, state lawmakers have made some progress. Let's start with the guns. A proposed 7-day waiting period for firearm sales is potentially just 1 vote away from the governor's desk. A Senate committee added an exception for concealed carry holders last night before sending it down to the Senate floor for potentially that final vote. A bill banning guns at polling places is also near the finish line. It still has to clear the House Judiciary Committee before reaching the House floor for a final vote. Now, those bills currently have the best chance of becoming law, but there are several other gun control proposals sitting right at the halfway point right now. That includes a proposed assault weapons ban, a bill to increase the age limit to purchase some guns to 21, proposed changes to the so-called red flag law, and the Firearm Industry Accountability Act. But we'll mention that these bills appear to be collecting dust, just waiting for debates on the House floor right now. Now, proposals to increase penalties for felons caught with firearms and a bill banning guns at playgrounds are still near the starting point right now, so it might be too late for them to gain any momentum. Now, let's move on to the courts. A governor-backed rebuttable presumption bill, which would have ensured some violent suspects are held in jail before trial, was essentially shot down by Democrats in its first hearing. But then, a workaround proposal to keep certain repeat offenders behind bars was introduced just last week.
What occurred to me was, well, let's write a bill that forces a conversation when somebody is out on conditions of release for a felony. They get arrested again for another felony. Let's force that conversation, not with the new judge, who may not have a choice in the matter, but with the judges on the previous cases where the constitutional provisions don't apply.
Now, despite that workaround, it was a similar fate. The Senate Judiciary Committee voted to table that bill last night, effectively squashing any pretrial reform efforts this year. And we'll mention that committee really is a bottleneck for a lot of the governor's other public safety proposals. We're talking bills to outlaw hazing, restrict panhandling, increase murder sentences, allow courts to mandate behavioral health treatments, as well as proposals to expand New Mexico's racketeering law, update DWI operations, and target repeat burglars. They are all waiting for the Senate Judiciary Committee before they can move on. And if they clear that committee, they would still have even more committees and a floor debate and vote just to get to the halfway point. And again, there are only 7 days left in this session. Now, we'll quickly mention a proposal to expand New Mexico's human trafficking law is also waiting on a House floor vote, while a proposal to allow retired public safety employees return to work is even further behind. But there is a 4% pay raise for state police included in the state budget proposal. Now, while it may seem like state lawmakers are running out of time to get these proposals across the finish line, we'll remind you that anything can happen in these final days. We've seen bills clear both chambers in just a single day, so it's still probably too early to say which of these bills will and won't make it across the finish line. Tessa, Julie?
Good to stay positive at this point. Griffin, thanks for the update on all of those. Well, like he said, a lot can change in a week, especially when you're talking about shaping our state's future. Stay with us here on KOB4 and KOB.com as lawmakers race to the finish line.